Topic 3, Hair and Scalp Care, focusing on permanent waving. Permanent waving is a two-step process whereby the hair undergoes a physical change caused by wrapping the hair on perm rods, and then the hair undergoes a chemical change caused by the application of perm waving solution and neutralizer. Because chemical changes are involved, always perform an elasticity test. Side note, you may have that question on your exam. Here we have a picture of perm rods. Note the size of the perm rods, what type of curl it creates, and when to use them. That's going to lead into our types of perm rods. First, we have our concave rods. And they're the most common type of rod, small in diameter in the center and increases to a larger diameter on the ends, as we see in the picture here. Smaller curl in the middle, larger curl on the end. Next, we have straight rods, are equal in diameter along their entire length of the curling area, produces a uniform curl along the entire width of the strand. All the curls are the same. Next, we have loop rod, also known as the circle rod, is usually about 12 inches long with a uniform diameter along the entire length of the rod. After the hair is wrapped, the rod is secured by fastening the ends together to form a loop. And we have our soft bender rods. They're also 12 inches long with a uniform diameter along the entire length of the rod. A flexible wire is inside that permits them to be bent in almost any shape. Next, we have our end paper techniques. End wraps, also known as end papers. We have our book end, single flat, and double flat. You may have a question about end papers. Sectioning for perm. All perm wraps begin by sectioning the hair into panels. And within those panels, we have base sections, then base placement, on base, which is 45 degrees above perpendicular, half base, which is 90 degrees, and off base, which is 45 degrees below perpendicular. And then we have our base direction. Are we wrapping the hair horizontal, vertical? Next, we have our wrapping techniques. Crokinole perm wrap. The hair is wrapped from the ends to the scalp in overlapping concentric layers. This produces a tighter curl at the end and larger curls at the scalp. Next, we have our spiral perm wrap. The hair is wrapped at an angle other than perpendicular to the length of the rod, which causes the hair to spiral along the length of the rod like the stripes of a candy cane. And don't forget your double wrap, also known as your piggyback too. Don't forget about that. The chemistry of permanent waving. Alkaline permanent waving solutions soften and swell the hair. They open the cuticle, permitting the solution to penetrate into the cortex. Reduction reaction. Once in the cortex, so it went through the cuticle into the cortex, the waving solution breaks the disulfide bonds through a chemical reaction called reduction. A reduction reaction involves either the addition of hydrogen or the removal of oxygen. Here is a picture of a pH scale representing our perms, where they fall on a pH scale. And remember, our pH scale is numbered from 0 to 14, 7 being neutral. Anything below 7 is acid, anything above 7 is alkaline. And we see here that true acid is the lowest, 4.5 to 7.0. And then we have 2 exothermic and alkaline and cold wave, which is 9.0 to 9.6. Please make a note. You may have questions about the pH scale on the perms on your exams. Here is a quick reference chart showing the perm types, the active ingredient, how the perm is processed, and also the recommended hair type. Next, in the next few slides, we do have safety precautions, but also keep in mind of your permanent waving procedures, and also make sure that you review the preliminary test curls. And the reason for that, as an example, is the integrity of the hair, the curl results, and processing time. Here's the next slide. Here's the next slide. And here is our knowledge check. What is the difference between endothermic and exothermic? What type of perm is recommended for a guest that has porous or damaged hair? List the 5 types of perms and the pH. List the types of rods. What is a reduction reaction? Next topic is relaxers and soft curl permanent.